Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living of Columbia and Greater Baltimore. Today is May 20th, and what called to me this morning was the Life Strategies Workbook. That's what that is. And I opened it up, excuse me, to this. Assessing my risk aversion. People resist change, whether for reasons of laziness, fear, losing a sense of control, self control, or something else. We all act like a body at rest sometimes. If we're at rest, we tend to stay at rest. The sort of diagnosis we've been doing here is likely to feel risky, even while it may make us feel excited. As a result, the level of our risk aversion could very well short circuit the potential of finally making the life changes we need and want. I can relate to that. How about you? Uh, that place of knowing, where we're finally diagnosing, is what the author is referring to, becoming aware of, taking full ownership of the habit behavior that has just driven us on automatic pilot to places and experiences that we don't want, that misrepresent our authentic selves. And essentially, because it's coming from habit, it's likely coming from conditioned or socialized thinking. And so it's actually taking us to a life that isn't even ours. It's a replication of somebody else's life. And so to really step into our authentic life, we have to break out of those patterns. And to break out of those patterns requires risk. Because sometimes, as painful as our patterns are, they're familiar. We understand them. We know how they're going to operate. Even if it's a negative outcome, we can reasonably predict where those habit behaviors are going to lead us. And so there's value in assessing our risk aversion. Um, how willing am I to really take a risk to experience the desires of my heart, to live the life that something deep inside me, my authentic self, the infinite expressing as me, God expressing as me, whatever, however you understand that, you know, the creator that I am created in the image and likeness of, that purpose for my life. Are we willing to take the risk to actually live that? And I think sometimes the resounding answer is no. And I think it's hard for us to own that. That yes, I could be living a very different life if I were just willing to take the risks. Um, yeah, I know I'm at a place, and I don't think it's age related, right? Because I've been, here I am at 65, and I'm at another level of that. And if I'm being really honest with myself, I have experienced this same um, junction, choice point, whatever we want to call it, many, many times. And am I willing to push through it, to choose through it again? And part of the conditioning that I'm navigating right now is the lie that, well, I'm too old now. Am I? No, not really. Um, if I'm being really, really honest with myself, that's an excuse because it soothes that part of me that is scared. And the part of me that's scared is because I am the one writing an internal narrative about where I'm afraid my choices will take me because I don't know where they'll take me in the human realm. And I'm working on bridging that gap to what the soul is calling for, the activity of me, the desire to express that does know where it's going. And so it's that I thou relationship where I'm learning to trust that if I'm following in spiritual alignment, if I'm choosing from spiritual alignment, it doesn't matter where it'll take me. It'll be perfect and it will be so much more than okay. It will be magnificent. And so, again, it's another opportunity for me to live a magnificence beyond what my human perspective can wrap its head around. This thing called life. What a journey, what a journey. Yeah. So that's authentically what's alive in me. How about you? This is an opportunity for you to, if you choose, to share how you relate to that reading in the chat. And if no one has anything, that's fine. We will move on to our meditation. Okay. So I'm going to read that paragraph one more time so that we can take that fresh into our time of meditation. Assessing my risk aversion. People resist change, whether for reasons of laziness, fear, losing a sense of control, or something else. We all act like a body at rest sometimes. If we're at rest, we tend to stay at rest. The sort of diagnosis we've been doing here is likely to feel risky, even while it may make you feel excited. As a result, the level of your risk aversion could very well short circuit the potential of finally making the life changes that you need and want. So we're going to take that into a 5-minute time of meditation and contemplation. With this breath, I bring my full attention, my full awareness to the presence that is, to the one life, the one peace, one power, one presence. That is the one same thing, expressing in multiplicity. One self-existent substance that is the source and the activity of this thing we call creation. It is the substance that creation came out of and continues to come out of. It is that unseen, unnameable, eternal energy, eternal essence of life. It is this unnameable something that in its foundational unformed substance is no thing, yet simultaneously everything. The heart of me, the essence of me, understands it by recognition. And so there is no need for my brain to get it, because I am it. And when I allow myself to recognize that I am it, individualized in form, there ceases to be anything to get and everything to be. And I claim and affirm that what is true of me is true of all creation, that every expression of life is an intentional, purposeful, divine, one of a kind, never to be repeated expression of a desire of this one everything to experience itself individualized in that particular form. So knowing this to be true, beyond my brain, knowing it in the essence of my soul, I claim and affirm that every expression is awakening to its magnificence. That every expression of life, of creation, of God expressing, of the infinite being, is moving through this human limitation of risk aversion, throwing off the chains that bind us in our limitations to a freedom that is unrecognized, unexperienced, unqualifiable. A freedom that is truly untethered, that opens the vault of all desire of the infinite to express as us. That truly throws off those chains of limitation and simply expresses a love that is beyond definition, expresses a life that is beyond qualifying, expresses the true essence, being fully what we are in order to fully live who we are. Always from that point of orientation, that point of beginning as this form, that point of the desire in the infinite to know itself, experience itself as this thing called life. I claim it. I claim the power within to move through that sense of risk until the idea of risk is no longer even an idea. To live in that state of holy wow continuously. And I celebrate. I celebrate that the word spoken is the word fulfilled. I feel shifts happening within me in response to the word spoken immediately. The activity of law, the doer of creation, receiving the desires of the heart, receiving the mental image, the mold, and instantly responding to fill it. I know that it is done beyond the definitions of human time and space. Now is all there is, and it is done now. And so I release. I release all the human requirements of when, where, how, why, and simply step into the doneness of the thing. Knowing that my internal compass guides me flawlessly. I let go of any need to control. And as I let go of control, the sense of losing control evaporates. I let go. I let go of my own opinion and other opinions. I let go. I let go of all sense of doubt. I let go of any need to make a thing happen. And in its place, I look for where and how it is already done and step into that. I let go. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amin. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.